NyanCave. Hello. Hi. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
We're into spicy day 2 of this trial.
Yeah. Ooh. It's your first time with Tom? Wow.
What? Yo,
Oh.
welcome to the internet. Have a look around. There's so many fun things in this trial. I love the twists, turns, and all the layers.
Absolutely. Fun things like poison.
Yes.
And fraud.
Mouse bites.
And
Mouse bites, not anymore.
No.
death row and dying.
Yeah.
Gas
These are the things
poisoning.
I want.
There's only like one time I remember walking in the kitchen and being like, wow, it smells like gas.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we might explode.
It was when we were putting groceries away and we accidentally turned one of the elements
the
on.
burners on, yeah.
The burners on,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it didn't light, so it was just pumping.
Pumping gas.
Yeah, so we're like, what is that that eggy smell?
I think
Oh no, that's the worst timing too, because you're like, oh no, what of my groceries that I've just bought have gone bad? And then you don't realize you're breathing gas.
Hey, everyone.
Breathing gas.
Check out my novelty dragon lighter. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we're talking about this man. Truth be told, my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times.
Hold it! Hold it!
You mean it's poisoned? Poisoned.
That's right. It happened a tiny few times now.
Well, this is most troubling indeed.
You're just casually talking about his wife trying to kill him.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't got me yet, though.
Well, that's rather troubling. So British.
I know. It's always days like this one when I don't get any wages. I get a little tea, or I get in at tea time, see? And I see her doing it, my wife. She gets that devilish look in her face, and she slips some white powder into my cup.
And you drink it anyway?
Oh, yes. Wishing for the sweet embrace. I mean, I was brought up proper. I was brought up proper, I was. If someone gives you a cuppa, you drink it.
And what happened to you? What did it taste like?
It was god-awful, believe me. Salty as hell.
And I think perhaps what your wife put in your tea was salt.
Yeah, nothing worse than salt in your cornflakes, that's for sure.
No. So, she doesn't even care enough to poison me properly, eh? Unbelievable.
Let's move on, please.
I can't believe it.
Quick name
DVD!
Duncan Ross is
Yes.
the alias of one of the criminals in the Holmes story The Red-Headed League, and Selden is the name of an escaped murderer from the Hound of Baskervilles.
Oh, okay, so it is just a regular name, but a reference?
I've
A
come
regular name, but a reference.
I've come to accept that if they're not part of the main cast, and if their name is not a pun, it's related to
Sherlock Holmes.
I think, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Or Sherlock Holmes adjacent.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sherlock Holmes, but not.
Oh!
Atelier Mecco!
Hello.
Atelier. I like
Yeah.
that.
Thank you for being one of us.
Yeah, nothing else past the victim's lips that night. There's no explanation, is there?
Does that mean that if the victim could have shown to... Does that mean that if the victim could be shown to have ingested something else, you might change your leaning?
Sorry, what's that now?
Oh, I was just saying, if the victim actually did eat or drink something else on that night, what's the matter with you? Sorry?
I said, if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Haven't you been listening to me at all?
I feel like there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here.
Compared to the other jurors who don't even appear to have anything to say about the case at all, it would seem as this elderly gentleman has been listening to the proceedings far more intently.
I suppose. The trouble is...
He has selective hearing.
Exactly. But still, This juror may well be the key to the breakthrough that we so desperately need.
I love how much he loves his beard.
Right.
Mm.
It's actually his cat. He brought it in.
Oh, I hope it just like falls off his face and it's like, meow.
This is hopeless. There's no way for me to appeal to these people.
I do think that the only way we shall overcome this difficult situation is by exposing the way in which Mr. Shamspear was really poisoned.
Sato, I don't see how we're going to overcome this difficult situation.
We must somehow make sense of this convoluted situation. We have to prove that it happened some other way and not via Mr. Natsume's tea.
Yes, I know. The trouble is, I have absolutely no idea how it did happen.
Mr. Naruhodo, I wonder if perhaps there's something you might have forgotten.
Oh, like what?
It's important to watch everyone involved and pursue people if they react to something someone else says. If you'd like me to remind you exactly what I mean, I'd be more than happy to do so, of course.
Once again, Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands here. I probably owe it to my client to hear any advice my assistant may be able to offer. So perhaps I'll let Sasato-san remind me. And again, no need!
No need.
Actually, I don't think there's any need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible.
Of course, I'm sure you're right. But if you decide you'd like your memory refreshed, you need only ask Mr. Naruhodo.
That's cool.
Don't forget about the most fun part of this trial, P corners.
Ooh.
Matt, pee corners, Matt, I have to pee.
A P has 2 corners.
Hey, Willenbro, thank you for 35 months, almost 3 years.
Oh,
Aw,
oh my goodness. You know,
nice to see you.
if a baby was born, they would
Maybe
almost
35 months old.
Yeah, next month they'd be 3.
Isn't it crazy? 2 babies. I know 2 people are having babies this month.
Ooh.
2 babies are being entered into the world this month.
They should member up to the NyanCave right away.
Right away. Absolutely. All the time.
Excuse me. You can pursue people like just for giggles.
For shits. For shits and gigs.
Do you have something to say about that juror number 6? Pardon? That last statement! Did it mean something to you?
Must have misheard, I suppose.
What? Allison, Monk, thank you for 54 months. Holy crap, alone.
What? That's more than 4 years. That's 4.5 years.
That's like as old as my nephew.
Whoa.
Almost.
nephew. Is that you?
Almost as old as the channel, to be perfectly honest with you.
Right?
Oh yeah.
You ever tell those pregnant jokes you wanted to say to your pregnant friends? I don't remember what they are.
Well done to whoever had a good sense to pick someone like him for jury service. Oh, so you think the elderly should be confined to their bedrooms, left to fester among the books, do you? I didn't say anything. Eh? What's that? All right. If there's a juror to watch, it's this man. He's dangerous.
I do agree.
There's one more I want to know, at least. I don't know if you guys have another good one. Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse.
Is everything all right, juror number 4?
Yes. Why?
Well, did something that was just said trouble you in any way, perhaps?
Everything that's being said here is troubling me, if you must know.
Oh,
Is it any wonder I've not heard a good word said about gas since the trial started? Really, my head's full of gas at the moment. Absolutely full of it!
that might be a little unhealthy if you ask me. And if I'm not careful, I have a feeling I might cause some kind of gas explosion.
Did you threaten to blow up my head?
You can even hear my mumblings and thoughts. They're supposed to be private.
You think very loud.
I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to hear how ruthless she's going to be, but let's move along a little bit.
I definitely think that we're gonna want to talk to the T-Man. Juror number 3, I think, has something at least sort of interesting.
Yeah. That's what it was.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we're supposed to find out. We're currently working on how he got poisoned, according to Susato.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Blow too hard. So hold on. So then.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's it then. So it's this
Right.
and this. Yeah.
Yes. Nothing else past the victim's lips.
Yeah.
Gas.
Objection!
He was breathing in gas.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
What?
Oh, good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, Counsel?
Juror number 6, did you hear what juror number 3 just said?
What? Yes. Oh, of course. I heard mumbling about something or other.
Eyes are just so precious. Like a children's book cartoon
He's
character
very
or something.
sweet. I would read the adventures of this old man.
This old man.
There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsume's tea did, in a matter of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question.
What? What explanation?
I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene? To see if there were any traces of poison there.
What? I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time, but the mouth of the gas pipe. Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance.
Hold it. Oh, hi.
What a piece of work is a man!
What are you trying to say, Mr. Shamspear?
What speakest thou, prithee? Is it not strange and strange? That is what I say to thee, sir!
I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been put on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body.
Good Lord!
Small Sato.
Are they tasty then? Gas pipes? Is that what he's saying?
Or is it the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry he tried to fill his belly with gas? Perhaps no actress would perform a kiss scene with him,
Oh, wow.
Practicing on the gas pipes.
For shame, madame, speaking thy fancy! I assure you I'm not such a buffoon I have to kiss pipes!
Objection!
This is no summation examination. This is a farce. The prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Nipponese friend's conjecture.
Hey, you're not allowed to talk during the summation examination, so sit down.
Yeah.
What did you say? To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to have placed his lips upon the pipe that feeds it, he would have had to be a contortionist. These are empty assertions. There is no possible proof that the man did as you say.
Objection!
Just shut up! Objection, shut up!
It's true, I have no proof that Mr. Shamspear put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamspear has been doing something in front of the lamp on his wall.
A little something.
Something. Definitely something. I mean, something, that's for sure. And I have evidence to prove it.
All right. You've got our attention, lad. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself.
Oh, so would I. Let's see if there's evidence then.
Now that I've got the jury's ear, I need to make this opportunity count.
Got my ear.
This is the proof that time and time again, Mr. Shamspear stood in front of his gas lamp.
Doing something.
Given the staggering amount of
Alan!
writing that recent games have, like the Pursuits, I wonder what % of games are typo-free these days.
Oh,
we're actually able to usually find a typo or two.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
most
yeah.
games that we play.
Oh yeah.
Nothing yet,
happens.
though, that I've noticed.
Telling you.
More than most PW things, I want to know how jury cross works. Okay, jurors, from the top. Again. Wow, did you hear what he just said?
Abigail!
Thanks, Ellen.
I'd read the adventures of juror number 6.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a doctor. He's slipped and fall and hit his head.
And he wears his cat like a beard.
What the?
These are... Wait, what are they called? Yes, skin prints. Is that were found at the scene.
Skin Prince Council. I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however.
My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Shh. It reveals all the places that Mr. Shamspeare touched in his room. And on himself.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it?
Well, if anyone could invent something like this, that's a great Sholmes fellow, that's for sure. Sure.
I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Thumbs was quite fascinating.
Engineering thumbs. Sherlock's an engineering bum. Hey.
Oh! Yo, I hope Von Zeeks has that line.
We found skin prints in many places you would expect. On the table, on the costumes, Natsume's butt. However, Mr. Shamspeare also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. For example, here. Around the hanging picture there, indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible.
Multiple handprints appear to be visible, is the judge.
Oh, sorry.
Aha!
Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork perhaps at a very close range?
At first, my colleagues and I thought the same.
I'm just appreciating the artwork at a really close range.
Oh. You're sniffing.
At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of that hole in the wall.
In front of. Ah!
I don't believe it!
Oh, yeah, right.
The gas lamp!
Though the reason why wasn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamspeare has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp.
Right! Huh. What have you been up to, you nut?
I'd ask the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement.
Me? What did I say?
You said that blowing into a gas pipe would make the lights in the entire building flicker. And now, if you'll recall juror number 3's statement,
What? Me now?
when the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights in the gas stove to go out, and the gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is, if Mr. Shamspeare were to have blown hard into the gas pipe in his room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building at will.
Crikey.
Oh, are you suggesting that the man purposely caused the gas to...
Objection!
Whilst I acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during a summation examination.
Shut up!
Okay, so you're doing this on purpose.
So you're willfully violating the law. Okay, just making sure we all understand that then.
I must toast to my learned friend's utter disregard for the letter of the law.
Lawyer? I barely know him.
And what is the meaning of this, Lord Von Zeeks?
This curious photograph, or whatever it is, presented by the defense, the so-called skin prints. Clearly, that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case.
But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective.
Oh, she's quaking.
It's nothing. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands.
An engineering bum.
Certainly. Even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence.
But. Please, my lord, if I may.
Miss Sasato.
It was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present it as the result of the great detective's investigation of the scene, as a tool by which to explain the possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Ooh, I could feel the butthole pucker at that one.
And if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen, and I'm sure the jurors would agree.
That's so.
You're right.
I'm not going to submit this evidence, but I am going to just leave this picture here for everyone to see.
Well, isn't that a curious thing? Well, if we stop now, we'll never find out what happened. But I mean, if that's okay with you, you could just declare him guilty.
Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide.
Juror number 3.
Yes, I do declare the great detective's investigation results sound absolutely fascinating, and I want to hear what the shady actor fellow has to say about those shady handprints.
Whee!
Da-da-da-dum.
What's the matter with you two? That was foolhardy.
Well, I did say it, didn't I? And I don't like to break a promise.
No, wait. You heard his lordship. It's not fair.
Oh God.
Balance.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. If just one more juror changes his or her mind, then Mr. Natsume's trial will have to continue. It has to.
Thank you, Miss Sasato. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh no, it was you who identified the clue after all. This is very much your success.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow.
Looks like he's gonna get into bonking.
Right?
Into banking.
He's gonna fall over at the same time.
Why, Mr. Shamspear? Why, Mr. Shamspear? You seem to be losing your composure.
Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it!
Yeah.
Very well. Continue, counsel.
Woo!
Glad I can finally watch live again, lol. Nice to see ya, Tom. I joined right as you left, so I'm glad you returned.
Oh, thanks, Spinato, the spud bud.
Potato.
That's crazy. Appreciate that support so much, y'all.
Yeah.
The cute gift, by the way.
It was really cute.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hello! I hope you're well.
Yeah.
Please. I didn't realize you had to convince 4 people.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Might need to skim through these again.
Yeah, I think because like we got the tutorial for
No need.
people getting upset when you listen to their things, that we're gonna hear someone get upset now when we re-listen to their things.
Yeah, it might be during
Hold
the
it!
ones who comb through this. Oh, yeah, it's all right.
All the evidence you say?
That's right, and there's no room for doubt. It's all pointing to that Japanese man with the big mustache.
There's the English man with the bigger mustache. Oh, this isn't new, but it won't let me skip it.
But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events of the night in question. What do you make of that?
Okay, this is new.
What? Your so-called skin prints?
It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique developed by the great detective himself.
The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And if Mr. Shamspear has indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe on the night in question, it can't be denied that there's the possibility that that's where the poison was.
Well, yes. I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. But as the prosecution rightly says, we should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. And besides,
Yes?
Even if the fellow's been up to some mischief with the gas pipes dozens of times before.
Just a little mischief.
Mischief, that's what they're calling it these days.
My favorite board game. Getting into mischief.
That's probably the UK version. For sure.
Absolutely. Come on, children, put your mouse on the gas pipe thing. Blow in there.
It's fun getting into mischief.
It doesn't mean that he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it?
Oh,
If you can't make a case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance.
You do make a very valid point, sir.
what?
Wait.
That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty.
Oh, no, wait.
Look, you've got your chance here, haven't you? So it's time to prove your theory. And if you and your Japanese cohorts can, that is.
Just leave our nationality out of this, please.
Mr. Naruhodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back.
What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? Can I show that Mr. Shamsphere really did blow down the gas pipe on the night in question?
Uh-oh.
We can prove it, right?
What? How?
Wait. Probably. By throw, I thought we had. Oh no, we don't.
I don't think we can prove it, but I think that maybe, like, if there's anything, we have supporting testimony. I kind of want to see what this option is.
Supporting testimony, because
Yeah.
what I was trying to say is we can prove it because we have Sasuke, right? Soseki.
Natsume?
No.
Sasuke! Naruto!
He was being choked by gas that night.
Yeah.
He was. He did have spirits haunting him,
Spirit.
I have supporting testimony.
which can be backed up probably by Mr. Garadeb being like, oh, look at the lamps flickering. People are getting up to some blowy, I guess.
No, in truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is witness testimony that substantiates it.
What's that? Testimony?
This is incredible! Whose testimony?
Oh, the background of their pictures or what are they voted?
Yeah, right, I saw.
Oh, I was like, why are they different colors?
Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. A person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Garadeb residence that night. Namely,
It's probably
Suzuki!
How old's that lady to your right? Damn, perfect.
doing well.
Hello,
yeah, it's either Soseki or this
Moon
guy.
Man?
'Cause I'm just trying to remember what he said.
Oh. I don't
Or,
know.
yeah, it could be Garadeb as no. Well, oh yeah.
I have good feelings about Soseki.
I do
Alright.
too.
I just don't know if they're gonna believe him. Well, let's try it.
Take that!
Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Garad. Wait, Soseki, Natsume himself.
The defendant?
At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following.
My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings! Even on that fateful night, it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out. And somebody tried to kill me!
On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not?
Coincidente.
Good golly.
Miss Molly.
Oh, so that Shamspeare fella blew air into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose.
Now hold your horses. What would he do that for?
Uh-oh.
For the murdering.
It's like he's miming leaning on a pole.
I know. Well, the thing is, I think that like on the normal bench,
Right.
that's where the thing's supposed to be, but
Yeah.
on this sideline, not there.
It's not there, which is really funny.
Little down. Mr. Foreman,
What the? Oh, what is it, man?
we cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, you must surely agree that there is more to this case than meets the eye.
Gas pipes in disguise.
Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic, first and foremost.
Whoa.
The scales have tipped.
That's 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord. We've overturned the decision. I'm actually really shocked that Miss Queen Bee, though, didn't flip over. You figure she'd be like, yes, of course. Let's dig all into this, Mr. Shamspear. I hate that guy.
I know. What are you doing to my gas pipes?
Yeah. Someone put their mouth on my pipes.
Did you pay for that?
Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue.
As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with the majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now call guilty, and 4 now call not guilty. Therefore, the jury's opinion is conflicted, and in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shamspear.
My lord, how can thy humble Shamspear serve thee?
Not good. No, I'm just gonna let it go.
What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination?
So God mend me, do I solemnly swear I recall aught of either the lamp or the pipe.
But your handprints have made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How do you explain that, eh?
I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I thought it was someone else.
As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed Detective Toy has no place in British court of law.
Oh.
As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains, at this time, an established conjecture. You would all do well to remember that.
But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shamspear's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there...
Objection!
What appears to be extremely simple in my Nipponese friend's mind.
Yeah, because I think they said they needed a drop of liquid to find the poison, right?
You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of the tea were required.
Yes, but maybe he used tongue.
It's not the handprints on the wall that I'm concerned about. It's the lip prints around the base of the lamp.
The base of the lamp. Oh, God.
You see the shape of that thing? How does it even make any sense?
Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have spread on the pipe, it would have been completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible.
You know what's funny? You were really on the blow dart train.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I mean, I know. Someone did put their lips to a circular object, and someone did put a blowing force towards that circular object, and someone did get poisoned as a result. All you're missing is your projectile.
Yeah, well, but then the air was the projectile, which went through the pipe to try to kill Soseki.
Oh.
It was like a blow dart,
Like
kinda.
a blow dart.
Yeah.
Damn, we're good at this game.
Really good. Like, exceptionally good.
All the way.
It's just lined up way better than we could have imagined.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
In any case, Counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you described. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air to the gas pipework where he lived?
There's only one possibility that I can think of, and that is to use the leaking gas to commit murder. Ooh, he said it! He said it!
Murder.
Order! Order! Counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamsphere wanted to end the life of...
Himself. There must be more to this life than being alive.
I'm so tempted. So tempted to meme. I know it would hurt,
Are
but
you-
also memes.
Tempted by the
I know it'd just be like, who
fruit
is
of
this? But it'd be
Iris
really,
Wilson.
really great to get something out of this. Like,
Trying to kill Iris. Who? Who?
Mr. Gregson just walks over and just punches him. Yes, of course.
Take that!
If the gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing.
I live round the parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lid is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time.
Mr. Garrett, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamsphere is trying to end.
Outrageous.
I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder.
Good gracious.
Objection! Now we've done it.
Oh no. The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here.
What? How can you still claim that?
Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that arises is who put it there.
Who did put it there?
Who would do that?
The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yes, that would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison?
So now we must ask, how could anyone have known that Mr. Shamsphere's murderous designs?
You mean to suggest...
Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known.
Lord Von Zeeks, are you saying that there was a devious game of wits involving poison going on?
Yes.
I'll show you Exhibit A and B, which are the two idiots that are the defendant and the so-called assailant. I don't think they're capable of doing this. What? Nani?
In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was clearly a retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamsphere may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could possibly have perpetrated that attack is the accused, Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend?
How dare!
God, the prosecution's so good in this game.
How dare!
How dare you?
How dare!
Just ow.
How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly?
Mr. Naruhodo, you must respond! Otherwise the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage.
What advantage?
Well, it would seem that somebody put poison in the water hole. I mean, on the gas pipe. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt.
Of course, the snake in the boot! You mean, name the true culprit?
I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all.
As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to that one particular person now.
The prosecution calls for the jury to reconsider the leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman.
Oh, what? Oh, don't you worry.
There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all of this. The true culprit of this crime.
True culprit.
A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives, my Nipponese friend.
You're a third-rate detective in a second-rate novel.
Oh, shit!
Shit!
But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already, I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax.
That's what they called me, and never mind.
Konostando da.
Disappointing climax.
Where is it? It's not here, I swear. It's normally awesome, I swear. Thank you.
Tell us, my learned Nipponese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime?
It's Iris.
Oh my god. It's Olive!
No. I think the only person it could be is Mr. Garadeb.
You think it's Mr. Garadeb?
Oh yeah, because he's the only one who have access to the lodge. Because he's the landlord.
I was gonna say that or the gas man.
Gas man. I mean,
Not him, though. He wouldn't do anything on purpose.
No.
because I don't know if he would know that like the guy was blowing on the pipe. Maybe, I don't know. But like, yeah, because I don't know. I think
Garadeb's a really good, I think a good throw. A really good throw.
probably.
Because yeah, I'd say Garadeb or Quimby.
And yeah, sorry guys, we're on a bit of a roll here. Oh,
Chance clears out. It looks like its textures never loaded in Gmod.
Spintato! Yeah, I do have that purple and black checkered missing texture.
texture not found.
Thanks, Tato.
Let's be real, Jajato was the one who saved Yuosuke's ass during that moment. She deserves all the credit.
But she's too kind. She's too kind. She would never be like, that's right, praise me.
Too kind.
Small note, you can press other witness/juror at any point without the prompt to shift attention. All praise fluff dialogue.
Like it did. Yeah, we did that earlier today.
Yeah, we're doing that a little earlier. Enjoyed juror number 6's musings. Thank you.
Take that!
I'm gonna try it. My idea, at least.
Okay. Yep.
You claim this person is the true culprit.
Oh, God, sorry, I was accidentally pressing a button.
Highly suspicious, I would say, yes.
Oh, crap.
Perhaps, my
You know what's
learned
really dumb
Nipponese
about
friend.
this?
What?
That I forgot? I'm pretty sure Mr. Garadeb is a juror in a future case that hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm trying not to metagame, okay?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just put that knowledge outside.
Oopsie.
Perhaps, my learned Nipponese friend, you should turn those wide eyes of suspicion on yourself.
What?
For it seems to me that your reckless reasoning makes you far more than anyone else you could name. A very dangerous man indeed.
It was me, I did it.
Mr. Naruto, please. You must concentrate.
I was trying to.
Then you must concentrate harder.
Harsh. So who do you guys want?
I would say one of the gas people.
What?
That's just because they're the only one who knows about blowing into the gas hole.
Oh,
That's the
company
only
secret?
reason I can think.
But everybody knows that company secret.
Yeah, I feel like it couldn't be Quinby. This is going. I feel like we're at the time where we hit him with the who really did it. Okay. So it's not Mr. Garrett. We know that. Who did it? I really think it was Olive.
I mean,
we just don't have the evidence yet.
Because the clipping of the letter, like the other end of the letter,
There
was
it is.
in that place.
Yes.
So that could be a
Yeah.
little
That's a good
trace
call.
of
That's a good
evidence.
call. That's a good
I
call.
forgot.
answer, good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Take that.
Oh shit! It actually is. Oh no!
I said it first.
No! Poor girl. The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear is, I believe, Miss Olive Green. I'm trying to get like an all of the other reindeer thing in there, but I can't do it.
No.
I've tried so many different ways.
This is a real right turn.
I know. Well, we had the go-ahead light, so
She really did have like a I'm gonna kill you and then kill myself.
very Shakespearean of her.
Super Shakespearean.
Yeah. Oh my God! Does that mean that we have a chance to have having our good boy, Olive Green's lover come back to life?
Oh,
Absolutely not.
as a zombie?
As a zombie.
I love you, Olive.
Yes, Olive Green, Miss Olive Green. I do feel as though I've heard that name in recent past, Council, but I don't recall where.
Miss Olive Green, the woman from 6 days ago.
They have better images of her. They didn't need to use this one.
You had to remember she got stabbed, though.
It makes you feel for her.
Oh my God.
The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. An incident from which Mr. Natsume was arrested. I hasten.
Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe, but I hear she's regained consciousness 2 days ago.
And I hardly need to remind the court that Mr. Shamspear's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi.
True. On the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital, unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in the hospital yesterday, and we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison.
Good gracious, she had poison.
And there's another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to court. The court.
Tell me, Mr. Shamspear.
Ha! My lord, pray, what be thy bidding?
Are you acquainted with Miss Green?
Eh? No, never heard of her.
Judging by the look on Mr. Shamspear's face, I think perhaps he generally doesn't know her. At least, not by name.
Shamspear, I saw you! I saw you in the hospital, Shamspear!
As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend's farce through to its conclusion.
Oh, damn! I appreciate that.
The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here.
Yes, Miss Olive Green.
Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should suffice.
Very well, I grant the request.
Excellent, Smithers.
The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of the court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned.
Damn.
Damn, damn,
You took
damn.
everything from me.
Shamspear, I don't even know who you are.
TBC!
Hello there.
Angriest!
I got this wrong on my first try to smile.
It's a tough one. You just don't
He's
want
a
to convict
toughie.
her. She seems so
I
sad.
know.
She's so sad and almost died.
Yeah.
Take care, Deb.
So I was convinced that she was doing the murdering. I think like in the middle of last episode or something like that. It became apparent because I was like, oh, the night that this happened, she was stabbed outside and all that. But then I was like, we don't have any evidence until Nyan with the ripped
'cause-
envelope. I'm like, oh
You're not known for jumping to conclusions ever.
no,
No.
I've never jumped to any conclusions.
No.
Next trial though, that bailiff absolutely is the murderer.
Absolutely. Okay.
Joyful jubilee and jumping jacks!
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Ikitoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent and proof that my tea is innocent. Good morning, my dear fellows. Herlock Sholmes! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. Don't say that in the courtroom.
Doing?
Thought the tea was innocent.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came! How wonderful!
Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it is very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces.
Nobody said or thought anything of the sort.
The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I shall rise early and be present in the court to support my companions. Such spirited determination is a beauty all of its own, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It was so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter?
Oh, yes.
Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a week at all last night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness.
Shocking.
And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential.
Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already.
What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Do you remember this?
Poison?
Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday.
Oh,
You didn't manage to...
it was a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contains strychnine.
So I was right.
Perhaps. Though, of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended.
Good kissing advice as well.
Could I have a word?
Could I have a word?
Gregson, how good of you to come!
Forget it. Excuse me.
And he's off. Oh, wait a minute, Inspector.
I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself.
From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself.
My dear Inspector, please, speak freely. Pretend that I am not here.
Believe me, if I could do that, my life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Do you have the results, Inspector? Of the investigation of Mr. Shamspeare's room?
Not yet. Shouldn't be long, though. No, I'm here about something else. The dead convict, actually.
Oh, you mean the man from the newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamspeare's room?
A man by the name of... Oh yes, Selden.
I went through the archives of the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that really caught my eye.
Something caught your eye? What, Inspector? What? What is it? Use your words, come on.
I've copied out a relevant part for you, so you need read it yourselves.
Thank you. The capital offenders file has been entered into the court record. Dum, 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 dum.
These documents...
Wow. Oh my god.
Okay.
Findings
18 burgles, 6 mortars.
died of natural causes whilst in prison, his final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. And
Oh,
the
my-
estimated... Oops, sorry.
No, go on. Go on.
There it is, yeah. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of the convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours of the morning. He's been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmates, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out.
Ooh. Include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information.
Yay.
I feel like we've just gone through a lot of twists and turns, and that was just the preamble. We're about to do some loop-de-loops in this.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though?
Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful!
Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is the shining diamond in its crown.
Aww. A shining diamond. The rough, maybe.
Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all.
We?
Counsel for the defense and the defendant! Court proceedings are about to resume! Make your way to the courtroom at once, me! Like this. Follow me!
Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery, but not nodding off at all. Certainly not. Haha.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
Glory.
I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears, personally, so best of luck to you.
Look, I'm shooting Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Oh, yes, Mr. Natsume.
It's time, isn't it?
Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is going to be the final battle.
Dunno.
Also, can we talk about how Olive Green's initials are OG and she's gonna be an OG gangster and pop a cap in his ass?
Bam! I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to.
Ryunosuke!
Waluigi!
Stuff. Yeah.
The final courtroom.
We're all singing the wrong song, Ellen Gale. It's the 21st night of September. Do you remember?
In her name of in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard the most startling accusation from the defense, namely that the victim in the case we'd heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident.
A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from the dubious eastern shores.
What the fuck did you just say about me? Thank you for that backhanded consideration.
A rather cold assessment from the Honourable British Prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Von Zieks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand?
Already and waiting in the witnesses' antechamber, my lord.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the witness in.
Oh, jeez, okay. All right then. Okay, hello.
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please.
William Shamspeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can only say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied.
Currently unemployed, in other words.
Yet still running for parliament.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. I'm not fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit that she has no talent, I suppose.
Also currently unemployed, in other words.
But also running for parliament.
What a coterie. Coterie?
Coterie.
I've never encountered this word.
Cutery. Not that word. Not that.
No?
Mr. Shamspeare.
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I am afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are, in fact, the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would for naught else, my lord.
Bailiff, put that harp down.
Okay.
And Miss Green,
Yes?
you are aware of the reason you've been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume?
Yes. The officer did explain it.
Ooh. Oh!
He said that I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live.
What?
Verily, I know not thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. Pigmented.
Like, it's not yellow.
Very well. Let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange indeed. Why would they suspect me?
That's what I was saying.
I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happened that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all.
Shifty eyes.
And got stabbed.
And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital fighting for my life.
Yes, we have been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garadeb household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about the random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green.
At this point in time,
All that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspeare's lodging is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we'll be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspeare.
Huh? But what happened 6 days ago is nothing with me being about being poisoned.
And I'm not talking about your bowels.
Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. On the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th day of February.
They look like they're about to like break out into like a synchronized dance or something.
Oh,
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
Okay, it was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be outside the house where the men in this case was having their lodgings.
I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest,
Oh.
for I had bespoke my supper.
the slug and leaf, you mean?
It was the first time that I had been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all.
I don't know why. I just really, the whole image of her being stabbed in the back by the knife, I just find the whole thing so comical. I can just see her like bending over and just plunk and just a little oof.
Oh, really? You think me being stabbed in the back is so funny?
Just boom, 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 oof.
Anyway, I was admitted straight to a hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business.
Yes. Our second incident inside a week of what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is the most unfortunate of coincidence.
Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare.
Was the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine!
When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder?
As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance.
It's true. It does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish.
Yes, my lord.
Cross examination. I'm very cross right now.
Okay, 6 days ago, 5 p.m., along the snow, suddenly stabbed in the back.
I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was awful. I can still can't believe it was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident was been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with you awakening and should not be forgotten.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the man was having their lodgings.
What were you doing there that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Yes. It's the Thundek Academy of the Fine Arts.
According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of on the underground.
I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road. Isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
For your GD.
Oh, well, it's because, oh, yes, of course. I thought that it might make a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town.
Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
But the point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems she's not going to be very forthcoming with the truth.
She's trying to hide why she was there this evening, or that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspear, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing?
It would be my pleasure, sire. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
Hold it! A tavern, you say? Which one?
'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End.
And a little unexpected, I feel.
What do you mean, Lord Von Zeeks?
He's broke. The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining for the locality, at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness.
Ooh.
I would have expected Grubb's grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate of your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush.
All equally appetizing.
I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that?
How different can water really be?
Very different.
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. The specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. So, Mr. Shamspear's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions.
And I don't mean fancy water. I don't like buying water at all. But on the East Coast, water is real different than West Coast water.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like bad different?
I did not care for it.
Oh.
The East Coast.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Oh,
I slapped the water out of somebody's hand and I said, "Is this a joke?"
Drink that.
Don't. Please,
water
it
for
could be
ants.
poisoned.
What are you doing, Slap?
Yeah.
We also, kind of, especially if you live somewhere for, a long time, you kind of, acclimate to the water
Totally.
Yeah,
in your area.
Definitely.
Yeah.
16 days I was there, and by the 14th day, I was like, it just tastes like water to me now.
Oh, yeah.
Until I got back here and
When you got back here, was
the
it
jewel's nectar.
better? Or?
Oh, much better. Appreciation.
So I think we have the letter. If we want to do that.
Oh.
I did want to do a little pressing because. Oh shit, we don't have the letter.
We have an envelope.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean an envelope you can't read. I mean, you can read some envelopes, but not this one. Envelope.
Envelope.
Oh, so maybe we don't have the evidence yet.
It's possible we haven't got it yet.
No, yeah. So
Right.
Not at the moment.
I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamspear went there, we must present it to the court.
Yes, absolutely.
If that is all in this matter, counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement.
It was the first time that we've been in the area. A little matter to attend to.
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
Oh, it was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning or nothing.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital.
Oh,
it was related to the card you were holding.
Oh.
Miss Green. What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
Oh, what does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Oh? Yeah, okay.
I'll need Duncan on you by the end of this trial.
Shit.
Damn.
But do you remember the 21st night of September?
I remember the 21st night of September.
Thank you, King of E3. Mr. Shamspear, do you have something to share with the court?
To be or not to be, that is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me, with ne'er a thought.
Don't tell me. It's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Whenever I see stuff like this, I always go back to that memory of that one time actor friend.
No, yeah. Oh, 100%. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then randomly did the Shakespeare monologue.
Yeah.
Without prompt, really.
No, without prompt. And like a long one.
Yeah,
we're talking
a long one. It went on.
In five minutes.
What is this?
2 to 3 minutes.
We were having a conversation in the living room, and it was about various random things, and then a friend thought it was
Appropriate?
like, appropriate to recite. It was
An entire Shakespearean monologue.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah.
That you remembered it.
Impressive.
But it was a little like as it went on, I was like, oh my god, this is happening. But yeah, so people like this do exist in real life.
Yeah.
We're at the end where you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Other friend kind of ripped into him a
Oh,
little
it was
bit.
like, oh yeah.
I believe the term used was self-serving monologue. I think something along those lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was an awkward whole conversation to be a part of. Really
It
was.
was really funny to observe, though.
Yes.
I like
yes.
being on the sidelines of it. I didn't want any part of it.
It sounds sitcom-y in nature.
yeah.
It's quite.
Yeah.
They're both quite animated characters.
Yes.
Something of relevance, perhaps?
Well, nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all.
Presumably, you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house.
I would were it so, but sadly, nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me.
So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours.
Miss Green.
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before, containing the note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should just throw it away, really.
No.
Oh, before you dispose of it,
Yeek.
the court will take it as evidence, please.
There it is.
Time to snoop in a court of law.
There it is.
There it is.
Of course. That's what links Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross.
Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green.
Anyway, I made it straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about the business.
The business. Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? You didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? In the early hours? You know what I mean.
Exactly. So how could I have done anything to do with it? Tell me. And yet you still haul me into this court like this, honestly.
Though at the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in her hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi, I ask you?
And yet, in spite of that, you claim that I was the culprit.
You know what doesn't have an airtight alibi? The gas pipes.
Shit,
Because
you're not
people were
wrong.
blowing in them. Yeah, got him.
Okay, but you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support that wild claim, have you? None at all.
There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my learned Nipponese friend.
I'm working on it.
Counsel, I will point out here that the jury's next decision will be final.
We're really up against the wall here.
It's good advice, JD. It's
Oh,
good
Mr.
advice.
Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamspear wonderfully there.
It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. All right, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere.
Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that.
Yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Yeah. But before that, I am curious as to what Mr. Shamspear might have to say. Oh no, I didn't want to go that far. Yes, good. Hello.
Ah! Ah!
Hello.
Hello!
Excuse me. Do you have something to add, Mr. Shamspear? That's your real name?
'Twas but a few sunrises ago, I got me to the nunnery.
Okay, I don't know a lot of Shakespeare. What I think I get the context of the nunnery, but can anyone explain it a little better?
Someone in chat said whorehouse, but I believe a nunnery to be a church, like to confess.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I didn't get whorehouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think like it's like, wow, you dirty. Go to a nunnery. Confess your sins, you dirty.
Oh,
It's
it is a brothel.
A brothel. Wait, so it was a few sunrises ago. I got me to the brothel.
Huh.
I just always understood it as a place for confession.
The nunnery
But I guess
is
someone's on their knees.
Hey! Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't
And
know.
don't tell Scotty.
No. What?
Forsooth, I could not rightly recommend the place so oft to my fellows without having seen it mine own self. What? Though upon mine arrival I was forbidden entrance.
The clue is in the name, I think.
I did tarry a while outside the building in search of some other way inside, but alack! I was arrested by an officer.
That was very illuminating. But perhaps you could just focus on the trial.
It's a convent. Everyone's like, no, it's not a whorehouse, it's a convent. What's a convent?
That's where the nuns go to be nunnified.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Where they make the nuns.
You ever played Age of Empires? You need some nuns.
I'm doing a
Okay.
Google on nunnery. A building or group of buildings in which nuns live as a religious community or a convent.
Oh, yeah.
What is nunnery slang for? Nunnery is often also used as slang for a brothel. Everyone's right!
Yay!
Which one is he referring to here?
Considering this is a Nintendo game, probably a place where nuns live, and not a place where whores live.
Forsooth, I could not
Because they
readily
call that the
recommend-
Nyan Cave.
Oh! So oft to my fellows without having seen it for my own self. I don't know if you'd recommend a convent to your friends.
Yeah, I think this is one of those double entendres, like pass me the juice from the grape juice bottle.
Hold it! 'Twas the slug and salad word. Blah, 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 blah.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Green?
Oh, this is a very critical moment.
Sorry?
No, don't move. It's a very rare sight to see an Eastern gentleman in a British court, you know.
Are you drawing me?
Yes, of course. Now, you go back to the same expression you had before, with the cold sweat, nerves.
Let's just focus on the trial, shall we?
Oh, perfect. Hold.
Now, which one was it?
Uh-oh.
It's this one, I think, right?
Golly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
yeah.
which tavern? And then we're like, why the slug and salad? Oh, we haven't.
That was cool.
It was
at
really
full
cool.
speed.
Yeah, we just haven't looked at this yet.
Yeah, let's look at it with our eyes.
Ooh. Ah. The envelope's been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that.
What is it?
The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... Were
I
you
do.
thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. Da 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 da.
Rip lines.
Go
kinda
together perfectly.
the fingerprints of the envelope.
Yes. Yes.
This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card.
The details of Miss Green's card have been updated. The torn off end of the envelope has been updated. Oh, I guess that's that.
That's that. We can't read. Oh, of course. I guess we already know what it says inside.
Presente evidence. Mr. Shamspear,
Yes, sire.
on the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize? For a very particular reason?
I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest.
Very well. I'll present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day, namely...
Pick one,
Noel!
the Nyanery or the NyanCave.
No. The nun cave.
I'm gonna go with the Nyanery.
The Nyanery.
What?
I just like dressing up like a nun, but not a normal nun.
Ooh.
A sassy nun.
Oh.
Who lives by her own rules
Damn.
and teaches the. I want to be Whoopi Goldberg from Sister Act.
Yes.
That rings a bell, but I don't know if I've ever seen it.
You've
I've
seen
never
Sister
seen
Act?
Sister Act.
It's so
Never
good.
once. I've seen
Ow, what the fuck?
What did you find?
little
A static shock or something in the back of my knee.
weird.
I don't know.
Weird. Bug bites?
Oh.
Oh no.
I have dressed up as a nun before for night out, and it's a fun time. And you get to be everyone's sister.
Mm.
I'm okay.
Yeah, okay, good.
He got blow darted. So that's
I'll
nice.
show you.
I believe this card reveals the answer.
Good lord. Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspear, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note.
Oh,
Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear?
well.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green.
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have to do anything. Doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
The whole thing.
All of it.
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well, then. You may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. Or Shamspear.
I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope.
It was in my letterbox. That's all I know, I'm afraid. I have no idea who sent it.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please?
A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago, though. I wasn't sure what to make of the note, to be honest. But in the end, I decided to go.
So you found out what the information was.
Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight.
Whilst on her way there, she was stabbed in the back, as my learned friend hopefully remembers.
Yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamspeare's interview.
Friend, right? Friend. You were romantically engaged, lady. Friend.
Bam!
Ah!
Get Duncan.
Yo.
She a donut because I'm Duncan.
Okay.
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
Gasp.
What do you mean?
You stabbed yourself in the back.
Ooh. Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspeare's room.
In my room?
Mr. Shamspeare, did you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well...
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
What did I do?
As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
She's playing this whole like, ooh, I was stabbed and my boyfriend died. Ooh, I'm bad at art. Ooh, feel bad for me. A little too much, I think.
Do you think she's really evil?
I think she's so evil.
No!
I think she's gonna turn her clothes inside out and it's just gonna be
Olive
evil.
red.
Yeah.
I do like my villains reversible.
There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it.
You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? I mean, thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me?
It would seem, that both witnesses need to testify again.
Miss Green,
Yes?
whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure for the suffering you have endured in recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished.
What are you gonna do, stab me? I lived through that, bitch!
I've played
Miss
through like
Green.
8 or 9 Ace Attorney games, and I don't know if anyone's actually been ever punished for
perjured.
giving false testimony.
They always say they're gonna
They
do
say
it.
they will,
Well,
but
did they do it with Gina?
I've never.
They
We'll
did
have
it
to- we'll
with
have to
Gina.
see. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, well, I guess she wasn't there. Well, we'll see how that pans out.
Please bear that in mind.
Yes? I know.
Very well then, witness. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point at the villain here, and that's for that torn off piece of the envelope. I don't know anything about it.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare?
Faith, 'tis so, my lord, and I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was...
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon.
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie.
Wrong. Being a fledgling artist is 80% lying about why your shit art is actually good.
Oh.
And if you can trick your teacher into believing it, you get an A.
Oh my god, Nini, you're totally outing me right now.
I went to art school. I know what it's about.
What the heck?
Being a salesperson.
Besides, but that note was delivered to me by my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamspeare's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. Okay? It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
The fledgling will do his best.
Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth.
Hey, are you on board now, Bonzi? Seems like it.
Always have been.
Well, counsel.
I'm ready, my lord.
Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witness.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all this. It's not a pretty one.
Question time. If you are driving a bus with 20 people,
Okay.
Yeah.
in the first stop 8 people go down and 5 get inside.
Okay.
In the next stop half of the original number get inside the bus.
Okay.
How old is the bus driver?
Well, 8 people.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
down
that's
where?
What
But
is
like
it?
this, is it
Under
is
the
it-
seat?
Is it a double-decker bus?
Oh, that makes sense.
Because everyone knows you need to be at least exactly 42 to drive those. So
Yes.
42.
Yep. That's the only answer I could think
Good
of.
answer, good answer.
Good. Yeah.
I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me.
Hold it! Thank you. Just wait. And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all?
Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable.
But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor. You surely knew him, didn't you?
Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted.
Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably, that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature.
Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true, I was compelled by my own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was unsatiated.
Oh, of course. And chat was pointing out, we are currently throwing Miss Green under the bus. Therefore,
Yes.
Nanny's throwing her under the bus, and I
Yes.
am driving it. So the
Ah.
bus driver is 31.
Nice.
31.
Dirty one. That's a dirty one.
Hold it!
Hold it.
Bum, bum, bum,
I can't be driving the bus. I don't have a license.
Haha!
I don't know how to drive. We're all gonna die.
So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared?
Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest.
Really? You paused for a moment before you answered.
In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? You mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all?
I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water. Oh, and mine innards to premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions.
What do you mean?
This is literally the that happened, and then everybody clapped.
Right?
Flies, sire, flies.
Good lord.
In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer's night dream, come to taunt me.
I think they were just flies.
I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me?
Thereafter, on the evening I shared a company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
When exactly did you notice it had gone missing?
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
In other words, you didn't notice.
Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room.
Yes, it would appear that the note had disappeared sometime within that interval.
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Oh, yes, of course. It's all some kind of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir?
Uh-oh.
You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madame. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that.
Oh, dearie me.
What's Lord Von Zeke's getting at? And who's defending her?
Nobody, she's just here as a witness.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you mean. Snuck into a man's room. Why would I?
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago.
Oh, does it?
But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings.
But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Mrs. Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless.
Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of this note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing.
What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though?
Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo.
We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough.
Point at the villain. It's this guy right here.
So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it?
I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters.
That one's kind of true. Almost always. Introverted? Fie, this fledgling doth readily cast aspirations about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wings. Oh, pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman?
Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see that you're just a failure.
Tragedy! Thou shalt know not the true heart of an artiste until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days! Oh, the years! Alas, to enlighten thee thou must wait so long and in vain.
Mr. Naruto, interject with some clever remark.
Butts!
This is your chance to shine.
I'm no Shakespearean actor, Miss Sasato. No. As far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument
Is the nunnery. Yes. Let us get ourselves to the one.
maybe later.
It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamspeare's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter.
Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion.
Terrifying?
Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Oh, damn. It's a-coming. Terry a long hour, yet nobody came. Thereafter, even I shared the company of the Japanese fellow.
Hey, Miss Green, do you have a brother who happens to have a child? And did you set a vigil for your boyfriend? Because damn, you're a vigilante right now. Taking matters into your own hand, probably.
The payoff was there.
The setup was verbose, but
yes, the payoff.
I had to run it through my head like 3 times to make sure.
No, Abigail. No. No booze. It was there.
Now,
Snaps.
Yeah.
Snaps.
I ate some freaking gumbo fruit or whatever it's called from One Piece and got that stretchy arm for the reach that I had to do for that. The reach. Is it just gum fruit? I can't recall. Whatever made that boy stretchy. Gum, thank you.
Oh, it worked. That worked.
so close. But which one?
Point out the villain right here.
So, why would I? Shoot.
Can we?
Because of your boyfriend, he died, and you'll
Yeah,
think
maybe
that
just a
Shamspeare
picture.
did it.
Oh, a photographic print found in Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Oh, yeah. It's in Shamspeare's room.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Oh no. That last statement was contradictory in a number of ways. I think you'll find.
No gum proof for us here.
Say.
That's right, my lord. In a number of ways.
Perhaps it would serve you well to concentrate your efforts on one contradiction at a time.
Ooh, ah.
I made a bit of a mess of that. In a number of ways, actually.
Really made a pea corner of yourself there,
Okay.
didn't you?
Hold it! I just want to skim this again. Never your possession. I can't leave anywhere what happened. Lodgings. However, involvement. Any further pursuit of the note is meaningless. Green could only come to be in possession of the note by stealing Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there's some other reason she broke into his lodgings?
Yes, pursue that idea.
The picture was a good idea.
I thought so. So it definitely feels like it's this, and we just need to, like, the reason why she would go in there.
I found a
Wait, did we-
reason for me.
Did we read this?
I guess, yeah, we did. The only reason why I didn't is because there's nothing connecting Miss Green to Selden. Unless she knew about it. I mean, yeah, the estimated 1,000 pounds of loot he stole remains uncovered.
She wants the money.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
She doesn't care about her boyfriend. She just wants the dosh.
This is the only thing that I can think of to toss.
Wait, what about poison? She went there to poison him? I don't know why. I don't know why. What do you mean? You think I snuck into this room? Do you? Why would I? To poison him?
Maybe.
That's a call. That's a good call, actually. That makes a lot more sense than what I said.
Okay.
She loves her boyfriend.
Let's try it.
She's not shifty.
Yeah, because like there's nothing connecting them. If there was some mention of, I could see that. But let's go with the poison. Why not?
Objection.
Hey, there she goes.
Do poison.
Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilt during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. Your poor little Timmy lapped it all up. According to the defense's independent analysis, excellent wording.
Yeah.
Excellent wording.
Yeah.
Mr. Sholmes' chemistry shit. Liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine.
What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear.
Oh!
Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason, and one reason only. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspear's room with poison.
You what, mate?
Can this be true?
You broke into my room to...
She's cold as ice.
And I do it again. My only regret is I didn't put enough on.
It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion we can come to. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspear's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear me.
Oh no!
The little feet.
I know her little feeties.
Order! Order! A council! Are you seriously suggesting that this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill?
Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts.
But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely.
Well, that's a very good point.
Good point.
Perhaps not, my lord.
Best prosecutor in any NCAA attorney game ever.
I beg your pardon.
There was significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road.
And so Zeki wasn't in his room because he was in prison. Oh.
Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time.
Lord Von Zeeks.
And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamspear's address.
More activity? Oh yes! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder?
That's right. And the defense has already proposed. Mr. Shamspear is meddling with the gas in the pipes that for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspear had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe.
His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant.
And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right! Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end.
The trial in which the man who stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted.
That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe has been put there in the victim's room for some 4 days earlier. What is it, Pippin? Are you all right?
A bit too much of a long bottom leaf.
Yeah. And with that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan.
What plan?
I didn't see this coming.
The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear.
To ensure that the lodger would not be home at the stated time.
To make sure I wasn't home?
Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed.
You mean to say that letter?
Was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison on the mouth of the gas pipe in your room.
Shall I get you a box?
Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Uh-oh. Here comes.
Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me?
Miss Green's motive should be obvious.
Oh,
It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times during the course of this trial.
So, that's what's behind all this.
You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Tomorrow.
ah, no!
Why would you hang us upon thy cliff?
Because there's a lot of fresh air there. You can't be poisoned on the cliff.
I looked and I'm like, oh, is he gonna do it to him? I don't think. No, he's not gonna do it to him. He wouldn't do it to him.
Sometimes
He did it to him.
Sometimes
He doing it to him.
he's doing it to him.
Take the do it to him pose.
Yeah. you know.
I noticed today the
JC!
NyanCave reached 70k subs. Congratulations. And thank you for the amazing content.
Aw,
We
Ollie,
love you,
thank you.
boys. Heart emoji.
JC!
Hey,
Thank you!
Thank you. Very sweet of you.
30,000 more, and then Susan has to say that we're a real YouTube channel.
Yeah.
She has
Has
to.
to.
Screw you, Susan. It's real to me.
Thanks. Oh, and now I got some stuff to put up on the board. First, I'm gonna take a selfie. Oh, what if I just turn? No, I always go the wrong way first, so I can go the right way after. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What an intricate case this is.
There's one more for you as well when you.
Oh.
It's a late entry. A late entry.
Boop.
COVID test came back negative.
Woohoo!
But that means I have to go back to work tomorrow and catch up via vlogs.
Oh.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Katie!
Hey,
that
that's
is
good to
a
hear.
relief.
Yeah.
Put this on the board.
But also, I can't wait for businesses to be like, work from home is the norm.
Yeah.
We don't need to rent out so much room for us in an office space when you can work from home and have it really great.
Speaking of which, you'll be returning to the office, by the way.
No, I don't want to. I don't like it there. It smells weird.
I know.
They make me drink coffee.
Great timing for the cliffhanger, Clay. Love it. Also, BTW, you still haven't reached the point where you get the second achievement of the case. Eyes.
Angry!
I'll be on the lookout. I'll take the shots. So don't
Beedle-deedle-deedle-deedle.
focus it. You're gonna get a slightly
Deedle, 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 deedle.
blurry preview. Very, very cool. Missed the office? Oh, during the heat wave? Yeah.
Yeah, air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
But just
is-
imagine if you worked from home and didn't have to spend all that money commuting, you could just buy an air conditioner.
Buy air conditioners? That's crazy.
What? Those are for business use only.
Why else would people go to offices? Yeah, no, I always loved working from home. I found like I did more work.
Well, like, it's just better. It's just better in every way.
Yeah. Although sometimes it is nice to meet with people in person. I don't like.
I haven't seen people
Zoom.
often in a long time. We had people over, and I was not feeling social that evening, and it was awkward for me. I'm like, I don't know how to interact with people in real life. I'm just gonna go be alone. And I did, and I was introverted.
Nice. All right. Well, we're gonna get ready for Yakuza, which should probably be the finale of the main story. So that's gonna be cool.
It should be. I put it in the title,
Ooh, lovely.
and it made a vaguely finale-ish thumbnail.
Ooh, vaguely finale-ish.
Ooh.
Described as such. All right.
Until we see everybody.
Next time.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. I love you. Bye. Bye.